Hello guys, and welcome here to the Jello Cup Series, race number 27, under the lights to open the playoffs here from the Kansas Motor Speedway. I believe this is the first time the Jello Cup Series has been back here in a few seasons. Today we present to you the Digital Ally 400. I am Brian James here in the booth with you, and starting on the pole today will be Tim Randolph in the number 43. He is the points leader entering this race, tied with Samet Ozkan in the number 18. And to his outside, another playoff contender in Carter Joey. Now this is the first race of the round of 16. Keep in mind, after this, the round of 16 consists of the Rock and Coda, so it is a tricky schedule after this, as Rockingham is a very punishing track for some of these guys. So obviously that makes today very important. And keep in mind, there are guys who are in a must-win situation. Obviously, keep in mind, if you win today, you advance to the round of 12. If you have a P next to your name. Once again, I remind you, as always, if you want to keep track of the playoff drivers, they have a P next to their name, just like Tim Randolph does at the top. That's how you can tell they are a playoff driver. And this should be a fun one for these playoff guys. Just keep in mind, it's what many fans call a cookie cutter track. So this sort of gives them a calm before the storm feeling, as tomorrow again they head to Rockingham on the short track. We have 3 road courses in this playoffs. We have a few short tracks, and then of course we wrap up the playoffs 10 races from now at Zen Joltis and wrap up season number 5. That's all to come here in the coming races. But meanwhile, our attention is here, as this is the Jello Cup Series playoffs. This is GCN, and this is the Digital Ally 400. Let's roll the intro, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Through turn 4. Does 24 have enough? It's going to be a drag race to the line. We're going down the front stretch. The 96 wins the race at Coda.
Ryan Knox is going to win at Watkins Glen. 7. Got this. All right. Ryan got this.
Here we go. I believe this is the first time the Jello Cup Series playoffs has started under the lights. So we'll see how these guys respond, as it's nighttime. It's the right time for racing. As the pace car will peel off, it'll be Tim Randolph, Carter Joey. The Jello Cup Series Season 5 playoffs are green. Already a quick advantage for Tim Randolph in this race. Carter Joey, he's currently in second. Now keep in mind, these guys can still accrue playoff points, and that's exactly what Tim Randolph wants to do early on. Carter Joey, he would sure love to do that. But right now, he's having to battle with the 65 of Rihanna G. Now keep in mind, he's one of the 3 Western New York Auto Sports cars. None of them made the playoffs. So obviously right now, they're win chasing, trying to get into the top 33. And right there, he'll get 3rd. And now Nathan Faden will try to follow for 3rd. So drop Carter Joey down to 4th in the opening laps, and Muhammad Zain Abdullah also back there in the 5th position. Another one of your playoff contenders who started up front. Alexander Rowe is the other one. He's currently in 8th. Those are the only ones to note that are in the top 10 so far. As Tim Randolph continues to lead the race, and it looks like the caution is out. Yes, it is. Stacy Stickler, Brad Stover. Accident in turn 3 and 4, or turn 1 rather. Diego Yepes also involved. His season just gets from bad to worse. 66, Ahmad Mihailovic, also involved in that. Trevor Collins with damage. Not the start those guys were hoping for. Anyway, Jello Cup Series playoff starts in wild fashion. Let's go see what happened. Just a brutal start for your Daytona 500 winner, Stacy Stickler there. Blows an engine early on. She's trying to slow down and get low. Doesn't see those guys coming. And just goes right up the track. And Brad Stover up and over there. And you just see he's roof riding right now. Trevor Collins, that's how he gets dragged into this. You see Brad Stover there. That is a tough break for 2 of the playoff contenders. Not the start they were hoping for. And up ahead, Diego Yepes. Oh man, there's another incident. And this involves Trevor Collins. He goes right into Diego Yepes, ends his day. And so 3 of your playoff contenders involved in an early crash. Let's take you back to the green. Here we go. We received the 1 to go. Let's take a look at your leaderboard here. See where the playoff contenders are. Tim Randolph is in 1st right now. In 4th, we got Carter Joey. In 8th, we've got Muhammad Abdullah. 11th, or 10th is Muhammad Zain Abdullah is in 8th, rather. 10th is Alexander Rowe. 11th, Zach Fitzwater. Smet Ozkan in 15th. Gene Sanford 17th. Tim Horton 19th. Mina Monroe is in 27th. Then you look on back and we've got 4 playoff guys out of the race here. But of course, Dick Clark, Patrick Smith, Mitchell Collins 30th through 32nd as well. That is a tough break for Dylan Young. A gearbox blew under the caution for him. And that'll end his day. Nathan Faden, Austin Shaw behind Tim Randolph as we're back underway. And of course, to note, Dylan Young, I believe, is the first non-winner in Jello Cup Series history to ever make the playoffs. Or first winless driver to make the playoffs. And of course, he is now out of the race. Now keep in mind, the tiebreaker to move on to the next round if you do not win a race is wins, playoff points, and then who got the win for the tying win first. As Nathan Faden goes to the lead. Here, move Tim Randolph to 2nd. Nathan Faden wants to steal one from these playoff guys. But of course, again, I remind you, Dylan Young's situation right now, the wins would certainly not help him advance into the next round. He needs to get something going. Hopefully at Rockingham, you see the 38 dive it in. We thought maybe he got into the back of the 3. He does not. But Nathan Faden leading the race. Casey Naneko up to 2nd now. And keep in mind, these guys who are not in the playoffs, they are going to be running even harder now As you see, Casey Naneko looking for the lead. Because again, the non-playoff guys, based on the new top 33 rule in Jello Cup Series, they need 2 wins to secure their teams into the top 33. So they got something to fight for here. As Casey Naneko now leads, but here comes Nathan Faden once again. And right behind this 3-car battle for the lead is Zach Fitzwater in that 4th position. And actually, it's now Carter Joey as they battle side by side. So 2 of the other playoff contenders hoping to capitalize on some misfortune for 4 of our playoff contenders. Oh, you see Ricky Johnson making an unscheduled stop, and so does Rihanna G. It's a tough break for the 65 crew. They have not done a good job filling the void of losing Patrick Smith. Nathan Faden continues to lead. And he leads by a lot. Battle for second is on once again, as Tim Randolph will go around. They did pit under the caution, hence why you saw Austin Shaw at the front for a brief moment there. And Austin Shaw now shuffled back to 15th. The caution is back out. Oh, the 24, Matt Hussey, the reason for the caution flag this time. Tough break for the 24 team. You see Nathan Faden lead us back. And this time we'll keep the cameras on as we want to see if these guys pit. And they will. Zach Fitzwater will not. Neither will the 32. So Zach Fitzwater now to the race lead. You see a 4-tire stop for the 3 and the 43. Some of the leaders back there also doing 4 tires. Here comes Samat Ozkan. We haven't seen him all day. Could he be the 3rd off? Nope. It'll go to Tim Randolph. Basically the same running order is my guess. Well, let's go see what happened. Ultimately, 3 wide just not going to work here. And Rihanna G just hooks the 24. Nothing really he could do. He was squeezed down there. Matt Hussey didn't give much room either. Matt Hussey just goes hard into that outside wall. Luckily, no other cars involved. So that's some good news. But a tough break for the 24. Let's take you back to the green. Going back racing here. With 1 lap to go under the caution, it'll be Zach Fitzwater leading us back to the green. Hillary Sanchez will be 2nd. Jeff Scott 3rd. Nathan Faden 4th. Tim Randolph 5th, Carter Joey 6th, Samat Ozkan 7th, Mohammed Zain Abdullah in 8th, Dylan Ibrahimian in 9th, and Tim Horton. He rounds out your top 10. So some of the playoff guys now in the mix here is Zach Fitzwater. Fitzy's going to lead him back, and he is one of your playoff contenders. There was an issue under the caution for Casey Naneko. He blew up. Tough break for them as we're back underway. Keep an eye on Hillary Sanchez as she does a quick crossover. She's a little quicker than the 4 on that restart. But Zach Fitzwater will hold her off. Keep in mind, there's a difference here. Fitzwater could go for career win number 3. And he's going to pit. That'll hand the lead to the 3. See the 95 hit the wall there. And Carter Joey's going to lose a handful of spots. Tough break for that team. I was about to say before they pitted, because I didn't anticipate them pitting there. Fitzwater's going for career win number 3 and number 3 at the season. And Hillary Sanchez was going for career win number 7, her first of the season. And of course, that win would have put Hillary Sanchez up top the all-time wins list. You saw the 43 get a run there. He just stalled out, unfortunately. But Tim Randolph will try to wind back up there, and he'll go back to battle for the lead with Nathan Faden. Back behind them is Samet Ozkan, though, in the number 18. He is tied up top the leaderboard with Tim Randolph, hoping to lock into the next round. Here goes Tim Randolph. Deep to the inside, an aggressive move, and Tim Randolph will retake the race lead. And this has sort of, in a way, been a breakout year for the 43, as well as that number 4 that we mentioned earlier. The two of them have not won races in their career in the Jello Cup. And finally, Tim Randolph broke through this season, and he's won some big events compared to Samet Ozkan and Zach Fitzwater, the other two there. But he's won some big events. He won the Brickyard 400, and then he won the Coke Zero 400. Maybe we should call him the 400 King, because if he hangs on today, he could win 3 of the 400 races. I don't know. I'm just kind of making some stuff up as I go, I guess. As we got a battle for the lead once again, the number 3 and the 43. Talk about this. 2 famous cars in the history of NASCAR battling it out at Kansas, of all tracks. Bet we wish this was a week later. Oh boy, you see a battle for second. Here comes Samet Ozkan. I don't know if he's going to get it this time, but that Toyota is sure locked in right now. He keeps his nose in that battle, a little side draft. And he's getting as much help as possible from his teammate in that number 20. And again, we go back to team orders. Now keep in mind, the 3 is a Richard Childress car. But the car that's leading is prepared by Richard Childress Racing, because Richard Petty Motorsports has a technical alliance with ECR. So maybe there's a little bit of team orders, some alliance orders even. And the 3 is just going to do all he can to hold up the 18, while the 20 is going to do all that he can to help the 18. So in a sense, some unofficial, official, technical, or manufacturer alliances sort of thing, as Max Anderson's looking to get around Samet Ozkan right now. Oh man, you saw Ozkan take an aggressive high entry into the corner as the leaders are going to pit. And that's exactly why he did that. So Samet Ozkan to the race lead now. And these guys who pitted a lap after the restart, you can bet they are sitting there and saying, hey, hopefully they stay green. Hopefully they got in the pit lane clean. because I want to be leading this race in a few minutes. Austin Shaw, Dan Hummel also stay out. Steve Morgan stays out with them. See, there is Zach Fitzwater. By him staying out, it was a pretty aggressive strategy, I guess you could say, because it pinned him a lap down. Can he beat these guys around the track is the question. He gets around the 3 and the 43. Dylan Ibrahimian won the battle on the pit lane. But you see Fitzwater gets around him right now. And I imagine Zach Fitzwater will cycle out to be the race leader, but he's probably banking on a caution right now. See all the guys who did pit. And I believe Austin Shaw... No, Samet Ozkan won that race off. But is he going to beat his teammate? He will not. And now Ozkan's going to fight like hell to get up to his teammate. But Zach Fitzwater will be the race leader with 10 laps to go. Now he's going to have to pit again. And of course he does not have fresh tires compared to the leaders. So I anticipate Samet Ozkan will, or Dylan Ibrahimian rather, will get around him pretty easily. And you see Fitzwater, he's just not going to make it back around. He's going to come to the pit lane. This should make it a battle for the lead between some Dylan Ibrahimian and Tim Randolph. And Ibrahimian is going to do all he can to keep that 43 back there. Again, some team tactics right here for the Joe Gibbs guys. Much like the 3 and the 43. And the 20 is going to do all he can to prevent this 43 from leading laps. And of course, ultimately winning this race and advancing to the next round. But you see the 43 is so much quicker. Tim Horton just got around Samet Ozkan, by the way. But look at it, the 43 is so much quicker, but is he going to make an aggressive move? We saw it last race with Jeff Scott and the lapped cars. There was a lapped car blocking Jeff Scott. He made an aggressive inside move, ultimately wrecked himself. And that's something Tim Randolph can't afford to do here. He's going to have to be kind of patient, kind of conservative. Don't make an aggressive move and take yourself out of this, because you're staring down a win. And there goes Samet Ozkan for third once again. And this could be a battle for second in the next few laps or so. And you gotta wonder if maybe the 20 is forcing that 43 to use his stuff up. Or maybe he already did make him use his stuff up. Because you see there, he's just quite a bit off the pace. 29.549. He's about 0.3 off the pace of the car behind him. And it looks like he's just losing ground to Dylan Ibrahimian right now. Four to go. Here goes Samet Ozkan. Aggressive move to that inside as he looks for second. You won't get it. Tim Randolph is not going to let him have that position easy as we got 3 to go. Keep in mind, the more, and this is what Dylan Ibrahimian wants to see right now, is he could pull off an upset here. But of course, Ibrahimian has now used his stuff up. That last lap, Tim Randolph was faster. 2 to go this time. And if that 43 is quicker, this is going to be an intense battle for the lead. Here we go. Now the 6 is ahead. Can the 6 hold them up? Side by side, down the backstretch. Where's the 6 going to go? The 6 is going to go in the middle. And Tim Randolph will go to the lead. Coming to the white flag this time. Are they going to get held up? Yes, they are. 1 lap to go here at Kansas. It's going to be about who gets through the lap traffic quicker. Tim Randolph looks to do so. And I just don't think Samet Ozkan's going to have the time. But he will get second. That's a good start for them in the playoffs. As out of turn number 4, Tim Randolph will win his 3rd race of the season and advance to the round of 12. Congratulations to the 43 team. They advance. They survive. They advance to round number 2. The Toyotas did all they could. Dylan Ibrahimian did all he could to hold up that 43 and help his teammate out. And he probably would have gotten rewarded with a win. And you see some an incident going on the bottom of the racetrack there. Possibly some hurt feelings between the 6 and the 21. And I think the 6 is just upset that they were involved in an earlier wreck. Maybe something earlier in the race. But again, back to Dylan Ibrahimian, he did all he could, to hold off that 43 at the end, and it just wasn't enough. And he probably would have gotten rewarded with a win by playing the team card there. Unfortunately, though, the lap traffic had more to say about it. And congratulations again to Tim Randolph. He will advance to the round of 12 here. So we want to thank you for watching. Here come your results and standings. And we will see you for race number 2 in the round of 16 at Rockingham. Till then, goodbye, everyone.